Why solitude promotes greatness. Most people are terrified of being alone, not because they dislike solitude, but because solitude removes the noise that hides the truth. We live in a world that treats being alone as a warning sign. If you eat alone, something must be wrong. If you think alone, you're overthinking. If you enjoy solitude, you're called distant, strange, antisocial. But here's the truth no one teaches. Every great transformation in human history happened in solitude first. Not in crowds, not in constant conversation, not in endless stimulation, but in quiet moments where a person finally heard themselves think. And today, I want to talk about why solitude isn't weakness, why it's not isolation, and why the people who learn to be alone often become the strongest, clearest, and most grounded people in the room. Why society fears solitude. Let's start with something uncomfortable. Modern society does not fear loneliness, it fears self-contained humans. A person who can sit with themselves without distraction is far harder to manipulate. Because when you're alone, truly alone, you begin to notice things. You notice when something doesn't feel right. You notice when your body tightens around certain conversations. You notice when your values don't match the life you're living. That's dangerous to systems that rely on distraction. So instead, we're taught, fill every silence. Scroll every spare second, be reachable at all times, mistake constant connection for emotional health, but constant noise doesn't heal the mind. It buries it. Solitude doesn't create problems, it reveals them, and that's why it's avoided. The difference between solitude and isolation. This part matters. Solitude is chosen, isolation is imposed. Solitude is being with yourself on purpose, creating space to listen inward, stepping away to recalibrate. Isolation is feeling cut off, feeling unwanted, feeling unseen. Society loves to confuse the two. But the people who grow the most are rarely isolated. They are selectively alone. They know when to step back. They know when to go quiet. They know when to protect their inner space. And that discernment is a form of intelligence. If you're listening to this and quietly thinking, this explains why I need more space than other people, nothing is wrong with you. You're not broken. You're not antisocial. You're self-regulating. What actually happens in solitude? When you remove external noise, 3 things begin to happen. 1. Your nervous system downshifts. Your body stops performing. Your shoulders drop. Your breath deepens. You begin to move from reaction into awareness. Your internal voice gets louder, not the critic, the truth voice, the one that notices patterns, the one that asks better questions. You start integrating instead of reacting. Life stops being something that just happens to you. You begin responding from clarity rather than reflex. This is where growth actually occurs. Not in motivation, not in hype, but in integration. Why greatness requires solitude. Let's be very clear here. Greatness does not mean fame. It does not mean status. It does not mean productivity. Greatness means inner coherence, self-trust, the ability to stand alone without collapsing. Every person who becomes truly grounded has spent time alone with their contradictions. Solitude is where values are clarified, boundaries are formed, illusions fall away, crowds reward performance. Solitude builds character. Why? This feels uncomfortable at first. Here's the part most people don't talk about. The first phase of solitude can feel worse, not better. Because when the noise stops, emotions surface, grief appears, fatigue is finally felt, truths you postponed come knocking. That doesn't mean solitude is harming you. It means your system finally feels safe enough to process. Most people escape at this point. They go back to noise, back to people, back to distraction. But those who stay, gently, come out stronger. Solitude as protection, not withdrawal. Choosing solitude doesn't mean you don't love people. It means you respect your limits. It's saying, I will not abandon myself to be palatable. I will not stay overstimulated to seem normal. I will not drown my inner world to meet external expectations. That's not withdrawal. That's self-respect. How to practice healthy solitude. This isn't about disappearing. It's about small, intentional choices. Quiet mornings, technology, free walks, time without explaining yourself, being unreachable for a while, choosing depth over availability. You don't need to isolate. You just need room. Room to feel, room to think, room to hear yourself again. The paradox. Here's the paradox no one expects. People who are comfortable alone often form deeper, healthier relationships because they don't need others to regulate them. They don't cling, they don't merge. They don't abandon themselves to be loved. They choose connection instead of fearing separation. Solitude isn't about becoming cold, it's about becoming clear. And when you're clear, you stop leaking energy, you stop over-explaining, you stop seeking permission to exist as you are. You become a lantern, steady, self-contained, and visible without shouting. If this resonated, sit with it. No rush to act, no rush to change. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is be alone long enough to remember who you are. If this spoke to something you felt but never had words for, you're welcome to share that in the comments. You're not alone in needing space. You're just listening to yourself. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. As always, this has been Valkyrie. Thanks for stopping by. Until next time, be kind to yourself and others.